2005 में जाके मेरे हस्बैंड का ऑफिस तोड़ डाला, और उसके बाद वो ऑफिस नहीं गए और सारा हाथ जाने के लिए, और 2006 में मेरे हस्बैंड की डेथ हो गई। इसी शौक के अंदर वो चले गए। आज सर सोच नहीं सकते, एक औरत को, एक माँ को जिसने तुमको पाला पड़ोसा इतना बड़ा किया, इसकी शादी भी, लड़के की शादी सब मेरा पैसा लगा, सब कुछ तो इसमें, और ये बहू है इनकी मिसेज छाबड़ा, बेटे की बहू है ये, सर की वाइफ है ये, और प्रभु सब सर ये मेरे साथ मिलकर मेरे को टॉर्चर करते हैं। मैं आपको बता नहीं सकती, मैं इतनी थक गई हूँ, इतनी थक गई सर, मेरा ये करवा दो, मैं बहुत थक गई, यहाँ भी मेरी रक्षा करो मेरे को, मैं कहाँ जाऊँ, मेरे को समझ नहीं आती।
Parties were directed to be connected, my lord.
Yes. Mr.
I appear for
Mehta,
the respondent number one. I have some background in the matter. I just have.
Mr. Mehta, you are appearing for the son.
I'm appearing for the son.
Since you did not attend the last, you were not there in the last two hearings.
I know I wasn't there. I was briefed about it. But
You see, what we had proposed was, since a dispute
Yes,
between mother and son,
yes,
she wanted dissolution, he wants to continue the partnership.
Okay.
She has a 60% share in the partnership. The
son has 40,
son and grandson
and the
have
grandson 40.
grandson have 40. We had proposed that as on the date when the notice was issued, which is in 2012, there is a dispute notice served, not served, but the disputes commence then. We'll appoint a chartered accountant with consent of the parties who will go into the accounts, and she will be paid a 60% share. You pay it in property, you pay it in cash. It's for the parties to be.
May I suggest something?
Right.
If it comments with the court,
But what your client contends is we will only give 60% in the profit and loss, and business is not being carried on, and he's taken over the firm. That was unfair.
I don't think that's a fair view. I won't support that. But can I just suggest you something?
Yeah.
Lord?
Yeah.
If it meets with your lordship's approval, Lord. But essentially, the basket of assets has two assets. One is a residential property in Arera Colony, Bhopal. That's not a partnership property.
Yes.
Second is a commercial property comprising of, I think, two shops on the ground floor and a terrace floor. Again in Bhopal, a commercial property, partnership property. Now, Lord, as far as the residential property is concerned, it is the grievance and a dispute between the parties that the residential property was unlawfully mortgaged by that is respondent number one sister, the daughter, to a financial institution without having any rights to do so. And that has led to several rounds of and several instances of proceedings not in various courts. I'm not suggesting this, Lord. I think this family must see peace at the end of the day. It has gone on in disputes for too long. This one is from 2012. I'm sure there are other disputes which have arisen thereafter or before that. If it meets with your lordship's approval, the following. Plus, we could create two baskets. I'm with you. We could create two baskets, value each basket, divide them in the proportion. Of course, as far as the partnership property is concerned, 60-40. As far as the residential property is concerned, in the manner that the parties suit, and part ways fully, finally, amicably. That's a short point here. These two properties are the bones of contention for this family. As far as respondent number one is concerned, he is bipolar. He's a senior citizen. He's not in his senses. As far as she's concerned, I was told that she's herself not keeping too well. We may have our grievances with respect to what she told the court and how she's being coached according to us by the sister who's not a party here. But I think without going into any of this, what losses have proposed, I think is very meaningful. I was only trying to take it forward to say, put everything into the basket, divide it in an equitable manner, and let there be a full and final settlement of all disputes. I'll tell you why a piecemeal.
Mr. Mehta.
Yes, no.
This proposal seems to appeal to us, but I'm audible because there seems to be
some. Your are audible, but I think there is a electricity failure there.
You see, what we would propose is you may make two lots.
And I'm not sure whether or not others are connected. I'm not sure because I see.
No, there seems to be some issue
That's right.
Atul,
This audible.
Audible, sir.
audible.
Yeah.
You may make the lot
Mhm.
in the undisputed portion. For example, in the partnership, she's 60%, you are 40%.
Mhm.
You make the lot, she will have the choice.
We can do that.
Similarly, and she was only looking at resolving the dispute. She yesterday
I'm
mentioned
sure.
at an
I'm sure all
advanced
the
stage.
parties.
And it is very painful to a mother to litigate with her son.
But equally, I would say equally painful, and in fact, I would say unfortunate for a son to litigate against the mother. May I make a request if it meets with your lordship's approval? If your lordship could give me about 3 or 4 days, I would also want to sit virtually with
Mr.
my friend on the
Mehta,
other side.
may not be possible to keep it next week.
Then would it
You
be
come up with some broad proposal.
would
If it appeals to them, we
would
can always give more
would
time.
Friday would Friday be okay with your
Why
lordship's
we are
word,
not
if that's convenient?
why we are not suggesting Friday is supposing it doesn't happen on Thursday. Then at least we have a buffer of a Friday.
So give me time until Thursday.
Thursday,
Um,
come up with a proposal, and if it needs some
Certainly.
more time to streamline it, work it out, we'll push it.
If it's not inconvenient to the court and to my good friend on the other side, may I just make one humble request.
My lord, if I can make a submission with that regard, my lord.
यार मैं कुछ बोलना चाह रही थी
एक सेकंड, Ms. Agarwal, एक second. Yes, Mr. Mehta.
Because my request was if losses could take it up not either as the first matter or somewhere during the day because there was a part heard. That's why I raised it.
Take it as the first matter on Thursday.
No, difficult. I'm so deeply
My
obliged.
lord, may I
If you
make a
can,
submission?
one second, Mr. Oberoi.
My lord.
If you have some proposal, it will be helpful if you could share it with them sometime in advance before the matter is taken.
But I've known the family, at least the branch of the family that I represent for some time. So what I'll do is I'll sit with my friend. I'll
Yes,
try and
Mr.
work out
Oberoi.
something. Yes.
My lord.
First, Mr. Oberoi, then we'll hear Ms. Agarwal. Yes.
My lord, just one submission, my lord. My lord, the residential property which my learned senior is talking about, my lord, there has already been a partition for that property, my lord, and that property fell in my share. There's a registered partition for that effect, my lord. If my lord can see the reference folder, I've uploaded the family partition, my lord. My lord, the respondent number one in his share got a house in Delhi, my lord, which he has already sold. Now he wants this property along with the assets of the firm, my lord. My lord, to that extent, I'm raising an objection, my lord. My lord, so far as the assets of the firm are concerned, my lord, he can give us a proposal. We'll consider that, my lord. But my lord, the residential house is an independent property of the appellant, my lord.
If my friend could keep his options open, I think that'll be most beneficial. I'll look into what my friend is saying because I haven't seen that document that my friend is referring to. I will certainly apply my mind to it.
Mr. Mehta, make a suggestion which you feel is reasonable and acceptable. Otherwise, if it's only to gain time, it may not be helpful.
No. You lodges know, my lord, that I would never make a proposal.
That is why, since you have entered appearance,
That's
we thought otherwise we'd list it for final hearing. Since you have come in and knowing
let me
you,
try.
that is why we made this suggestion.
Let me try. Lodges may have it day after tomorrow as a first matter. Let me try.
Parties have exchanged certain proposals. They pray for some more time to explore the possibility of an amicable resolution. Yes, Ms. Agarwal, you wanted to. आप कुछ कहना चाहते थे?
हाँ सर नमस्कार मैं ना संतोष अग्रवाल बोल रही हूँ सर मेरी ना जो ये लड़का है ना रुपेश अग्रवाल इसने एक पैसा नहीं खाया ये जो इसको 40% में मेरे हस्बैंड ने दिया इसको और इसने 2005 में जाके मेरे हस्बैंड का ऑफिस तोड़ डाला और उसके बाद वो ऑफिस नहीं गए और सारा हाथ जाने के लिए और 2006 में मेरे हस्बैंड की डेथ हो गई इसी शौक के अंदर वो चले गए और सर वो मैं कहाँ जाऊँ मेरे को समझ नहीं आती ऐसे लड़के ने मेरे साथ ऐसा बुरा किया आप सर सोच नहीं सकते एक औरत को एक माँ को जिसने तुमको पाला पड़ोसा इतना बुरा किया इसकी शादी भी लड़के की शादी सब मेरा पैसा लगा सब कुछ को इसमें और ये बहू है इनकी मिसी छावड़ा बेटे की बहू है ये सर की वाइफ है ये और प्रभु सब सर ये मेरे साथ मिलकर मेरे को टॉर्चर करते मैं आपको बता नहीं सकती मैं इतनी थक गई हूँ इतनी थक गई सर मेरा ये करवा दो मैं बहुत थक गई अभी मेरी रक्षा करो मेरे को मैं कहाँ जाऊँ मेरे को समझ नहीं आती
संतोष जी हम कोशिश करेंगे आपका केस जल्द से जल्द खत्म हो सके
और सर मेरे को बुढ़ापा आ गया आप देख रहे मेरी
आपकी बेटी आपके साथ है
हाँ जी मेरी बेटी मेरे साथ है
तो अब परसों हम रख रहे हैं,
हाँ जी।
उनको और उनके हस्बैंड अगर वो दोनों साथ में होना चाहें तो थोड़ा इजी हो जाएगा हमारे लिए भी। उनको भी कहिएगा, हालांकि वो पार्टी नहीं है, लेकिन उनको कहिएगा अगर सेटलमेंट की कोई बात होती है तो वो मौजूद होंगे तो थोड़ा इजी हो जाएगा।
सर मैं तो बहुत दुखी हो गई, मैं आपको बता नहीं सकती हूँ।
उत्सव इज द ग्रैंडसन,
So is the grandson.
Alright, so let him also be. He is also corrected. Let him also be corrected so that we can
That's
have
right.
a
That's right.
complete, full and full.
He's a
holistic
party. He's a party. He's response number 2.
So we are requesting the sister, not making them as parties, but so that we can have
I
a
bow
full
down.
resolution
I
of
bow
all
down.
the disputes.
Everybody is here. Everybody is here.
संतोष जी, आप
Perfect.
उनको बोलिएगा अगली डेट पे वो भी मौजूद रहेंगे। हम परसों सवेरे 10:30 बजे सबसे पहला केस आपका लेंगे।
ठीक है, थैंक यू सर।
Fully obliged. Most
May I
welcome.
please your lordships? My lords, I am the grandson of the appellant here, my lords.
You are,
My lords,
you are the daughter's son.
yes, my lords.
Your
My
name
lords,
is,
my lords, Aman Garg, my lords.
sorry, Amangal.
Yes, my lords. Aman Garg.
Sorry, spell it out, please.
Aman Garg.
AMAN, Aman Garg.
Aman Garg.
Garg.
Yes, my lord. G.
Mr. Garg, if your mother and father could also be connected day after tomorrow, you see, it's easy for us to. What is your educational background?
Mama, I am an advocate by profession, my lords.
All right,
I have
perfect.
cleared
Then
my
you
case,
know.
my lords.
Then you know, Mr. Garg,
Yes, my
it
lords.
is easy for us to decide a case, but it's difficult for us to resolve a dispute.
My lords.
We can decide the case without a difficulty, but we would like this dispute to end between the families. So we're making an endeavor. If it can be amicably resolved, otherwise we'll decide. So
My lords, I would like to brief my lords. My learned senior counsel has made
Mr.
some.
Garg, one second. We are not going to pay heed to anything stated on merits.
My lords.
Only thing since Mr. Mehta is there, and I know Mr. Mehta for a long time,
My lords.
we've requested him to come up with a proposal which he thinks is going to be appealable. And the offer, our system of working is he makes the lot and you get to choose.
My lords.
So if he makes a loaded lot on one side, you can pick it
You
up.
choose it. Absolutely.
So
My
we will not permit parties to make the lot and choose. So likewise, if he comes up with a lot, you have the right to choose. But if you want a different lot to be prepared, you prepare the lot, they will choose.
Absolutely.
So
But my
they'll
lord,
give you an offer. They'll give you an offer by tomorrow end or early morning day after, and we'll take it as first item on Thursday.
Deeply obliged.
My lord, may I make a submission? My lord, I'll hand over a copy of the partition deed to my learned senior.
Yes, please do that. It's in any case on ERP. It will be visible to
Lord,
them.
he will not include properties which are part of that deed, my lord, because
Of course not, Mr. Oberoi. Mr. Oberoi, what is already settled is settled.
My lord,
My
What
lord.
is available for distribution is something. And Mr. Oberoi, this is not binding on the parties.
No, no,
If you're not able to resolve, we
Absolutely.
will adjudicate.
Absolutely.
Correct, my lords.
Deeply obliged.
Obliged, my lord.
Obliged, my lords.
Serial number 25.